Hey, hello, let's get started. So it's Sunday and it's Python 0 to Hero. And yeah, well, we have been through a lot. I mean, like we have learned a lot of things from the first day we installed Python together, and then we learned a lot of things, and then yeah, so we're here. And this week I feel very, very weak. I'm not feeling like very well. Yeah, and things happen, like stupid things happen in my daily life, and yeah, just having like some rough time. But the good news is that Turnus DB 3.0 is out, and then we just like finished the big release, and yeah, it seems to getting quite well. And I don't know, like I'm thinking that maybe I need a holiday from streaming, this stuff, because yeah, I do have a lot of conference and talks and everything is going on, and I feel like I don't spend enough time on those. And yeah, just feel that maybe it's too much for me to do so many things all at once. Is a bit difficult. But we'll see how it goes. Like maybe I'll cut down some of the programs. Maybe like because Monday is always a struggle. Like because it will be a lot of meetings, and then there's that streaming, and then I always don't know what to talk about. And my friend is doing like a lot of amazing courses, so I don't think that maybe it's that necessary to do the streaming for data science on Monday. And I don't know what to talk about actually. Like really, yeah, I feel that yeah, maybe this is not the right time to do that. I don't know. I need to think about that. So, but Sundays is more fun, like more of a fun tutorial because it's about Python. I can talk about anything about Python. So, um, yeah, but I still need like some inspiration because I think that well, I would never run out of things to say, but it's just that I don't know what would be interesting. Because like usually I would just like look at what I want to see, like what I'm doing at the moment, and then like yeah. But sometimes like when I got busy and things like that, is then I'm running out of ideas. So yeah, if you have any ideas like about what Python topics you want to know, then let me know. And also message me on Twitter. Like my DM is open. Just talk to me, and it's good to like people tell me about stuff, like for example I forgot to change the thing on the CFP system, and like someone told me as I just fixed that, yeah. uh, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get started. Um oh, by the way, I've changed it into like change the color theme because I really like that mode, and it doesn't cast like a really bright light on my face because I already have a ring light above me that basically I set it to the right amount that you can still see my face, but the green screen is working. Blue screens today in my case, is still working okay, right? And but if I have a white, background on my screen, then everything would be like too bright. So I've tried to change to dark mode on my slides as well, so it's kind of better. But let me know if you really hate it. Okay. So this is what we have learned so far from the last few months. It's been going very very fast actually. So again, like, it's I'm struggling to think of what I'm going to say for the next week, and usually I just like come up with an idea, during the week. So yeah, let me know if you have any idea. And so I think before we talk about OS and as a process, which is too yeah, and someone knock on my door, like ring the doorbell. Like it usually happen when I'm in a meeting or in streaming, so I have to ignore that. Um, it's really horrible. Um, so yeah, before we talk about OS and subprocess, I think we would talk about reading and writing a file, okay? Because usually I think in the time I'm dealing with OS and subprocess, these two standard library that usually I'm dealing with something that work outside of Python that is a file. Um, so yeah, the doorbell is so annoying. I don't know, like, shall I go and get the door? Like, let me know in the chat if you want me to get to the door, then I could just like, pop out. Then you have a chair here. But anyway, um, oh my god. Sorry, I really have to take this. Like, this is so aggressive. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Right. Sorry about that. I have to get to the door, and the guy was being very aggressive. Just keep ringing. Usually, like if they're delivering something, they would ring my neighbor, because the thing is like where I'm living, I have two doors, like one gate, like two gates. I don't know why it's super secure. I think in a few minutes he will ring again. Um, so usually they are smart. They just ring my neighbor, and my neighbor will let them in, and they just drop the thing, downstairs, which is fine. I can collect it afterwards. But this guy is being very aggressive and just keep ringing me. Um, yeah. So where were I? Okay, yeah. So usually when I'm doing like OS and subprocess, I'm reading and writing a file. Um, so I think I don't think I've covered this reading and writing a file before as well. That like I think I've never talked about it. So maybe it's good to like visit this topic because I think this is quite a beginner topic that people come across it quite early on in their Python journey. And yeah, so it's quite quite a thing that you have to know. Right. So let me think. And so yeah, I have put down a slide here. Sorry, my chain of thought is really broken by the delivery guy. um, so yeah, so like well, you could use open, which is a built-in function to get access to a file, and then because the thing about this, because looking at a perspective of when we have learned about Python object and stuff, so actually this opened function will return a file object in Python, and this file object actually provide lots of methods that you could do lots of stuff. So let's have a look at it. So I'm so lazy to really like copy the materials into my slides, so I just so yeah, it kind of defeat the purpose of having that screen because like all these websites are like usually having a white background, but they are really good. Like this information are everywhere online. I usually just grab the information somewhere because yeah, they do a good job of explaining things. So I'm just like putting materials together and try to like put things into a place, so when you are new then you don't know where to look, then you know where to get the information that you need, and also all the links are in the slides. um so yeah, so this is a W3 school tutorial. they they're famous for their JavaScript and front end tutorials, but now they're doing Python. And yeah, I think this is usually fine, these things. But if you're really looking at something specific, maybe you have to look somewhere else. But usually they're doing a good job of explaining some beginners concept. So you use open, right? And then you have different options when you open. Of course, you have to put in the path of your file name, and all these things. But you also need to have a mode. So the most common one is read, when you read a file, so R, and write. Okay. So there's something that is a little bit different. For example, A, that means append. So when you write a file, that you append to it. You don't like rewrite all the stuff that is already there. Okay. And create, and you know, it will create a file that like I rarely use it because like when you use write, like if the file doesn't exist, it will create it already. So yeah, so I think this is the case. Like when you, for example, you want to make sure that this file is completely new, that you don't accidentally rewrite a file, then you use X. But I rarely use it, to be honest. And there's also two types that you could use: a text mode or a binary mode. So most of the time, when you're dealing with data and all this stuff, it will be like text mode. That's more easy to understand. For binary mode is tricky. Usually it's like um, yeah, there are some cases you'll be using binary mode, but that's rare. Because if you, for example, if you want to save a Python object, you usually would what you would do is that you would pickle it, right? So yeah, you don't like you rarely use this binary kind of thing. So how to do it? You just like put it as open. So you just use open and then give the file name there, and then you can like read and then text mode. Okay, so this is how you do it. Um, and they also tell you that you could do other things with these like different. So the mode that you're using need to match, right? So if you intend to read a file, that you have to use the read mode, and then the method that you call are read. So like you never call something like f.write or things like that. Okay. I don't know what will happen if you try to do that. I don't know whether that would work or that would give you some error. Actually, we can do an experiment about it. So let's do what this demo is doing. So and yeah, I can create that file there. Let me create one. So yeah, I think that's why I like doing this tutorial. The other reason is that I'm not going to do this now. So yeah, the reason why I like doing this tutorial is that because I got to experiment stuff as well. So because sometimes you would never try all these crazy things if you are really like working with Python, for a project or at work. It's like this give me an opportunity to try things out with you together. And I hope you're as excited as I am. So now I can open it and read it, right? So this is normally what you would do it. You would open it in a read mode and use read, okay? So, this should, okay, so did I save it correctly? Let me save it just to be sure. So, yeah, so this is what normally you do, right? And then you would close the file by dot close. Okay, so this is normally what you would do, okay? So how about let's do something crazy. Let's put it into write mode. Okay, so yeah, so it says not readable. So it need to match. You can't do crazy things like R and then write. Uh, yeah, you can't do things like that. It need to match, okay? Otherwise, it won't work. So let's go back to what we were. And this is how you read and write the file, okay? So maybe I should put down this. Oh, I should put down some command here. I'll do this afterward, okay? So usually, because I think that what I can do is I can put down, touch. You can use command here, right? So you can do touch, uh, this, and then you can be or um, cat or yeah. I'll do it afterward. I'm like my chain of thought is lost otherwise. Right. So where were I? Okay. Um, yeah. So sometimes, if you want to open a file in a different directory, you have to put in an absolute path or relative path. Like so the difference is that remember the dot slash thing and dot dot slash, those are relative path. Okay. So dot slash means that it's current directory, uh, my subdirectory or my file, things like that. And dot dot slash is that my parents directory, and then you start from there and build your path. You can have grandparents, which is dot dot slash dot dot slash. So all these things containing dots and dot dots, they are relative paths. Later, we'll see that how we can use the os.path to get no, os.path to get back an absolute path from that. So the reason why we use relative path is that, for example, if I'm doing things here, like for example, if I put down, this path, it won't work on your computer because for usually like the most common case is that for example if I get the absolute path, for example, like I think it's like this. So you can see that my path is that because I'm using Mac. So in Mac, is it big enough for you to see? I'll make it bigger. Yeah. So yeah, for Mac, so the root is start with just one slash. So everything that without anything in front. So like the slash without any just the slash itself is root, okay? So it's difficult. So if it's just slash, if you just slash, that means it's a root. And then so if you have dot slash, which means that it's current directory, so start from the current directory, so without anything, so that's absolute root. Um, so and then afterward you will have user, you will have my username, so I'm checking ho, and you would have something different, right? Even if you're using the same Mac, you would name your Mac differently. You have a different username, that this would be different from you. And if you're using other things like Windows or Linux, of course, like everything will be different. Okay, it depends on the computer. So usually what we do is that we will use relative path. So for example, if I want to open this demo file.txt, I would have the current directory. I have this file, right? Um, but sometimes it could also create some craziness if you're using relative path, because if you are running this code from another, because like that's what this pwd mean. This means that it's the current directory. So you could run this script in another directory, then the relative path will break, right? Because this dot slash means that it's the current working directory. And if you're calling it, for example, in tutorial and stuff in Python 0 to hero, then this will all get messed up. So So yeah, that's why when you see when we use OS path, there are some methods there to solve all these problems. So we'll worry about them later, okay? um, and then like you can also like do read 5, which is like only reading the first 5 character. Okay, so this is by character. um yeah, so let me do this. So because I close it, I have to open it again. So go back to our scripts if I could. So like I have this and I read it. Oh my god, did I deleted it? Maybe I did. Maybe I deleted it by using the write mode before, so it's okay. I can quickly fix it by saving it again, I think. Yeah, it has been changed because I have used the write mode. It opens the file, but I never properly close it, so it's really like damaged. So now it's just a big old mess. So I can create it again. It's fine. So yeah, be careful with the mode that you're using. You can really screw up your file. So I suggest that if you're a beginner, you try to not work on an only copy of things. Like when you're running a script on a file, try to back up your thing before you run the script, because you can see that like I have messed up before. So it could happen to you, like if you, for example, you use the wrong mode and stuff, then you didn't close it properly and all these things, then it will be really messed up. So read mode and read, I can read the whole file. Remember to close it, otherwise that corrupt thing would happen. You corrupt your file and those things will be very, very weird. You don't want that to happen. So we could read only a part of the file. So like this. Yeah, it's only like a first 5 character, and always remember to close it. Okay. There are other ways of doing this, so you don't have to close it manually, but this is an option for you. Um, yeah, usually like mistakes that beginners make would be that they forgot to close it. um, Another way of reading is that reading things run line by line. So this is the read line, and actually I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you this one first. So read line means I open a file, okay, like we did before, and then this read line actually is an iterator. This will actually read the line one by one. So maybe I can open this file operation here. So this is a more detailed example. Do they explain the read line? Yeah, so they have more, you know, so you can also use plus mode, that is updating a file, things like that. And so this is more detailed. So yeah, like I said, W3 School is very good for front end stuff, but the Python stuff is not too detailed in my opinion. So yeah, so this read line actually is an iterator. So oh my god, yeah, so like this is the first line, right? And then before you close it, you can run it again, and then you get the second line. Or you can actually put this in a for loop and do it. So for example, let me close this and do it again. So let me close this, and I open it again, okay? I open it, and then I can have for line in f.read line print f, and I will print another line. So maybe I'll print out this, okay? So you know that it's line by line. Yeah. Oops. What happened? Sorry, line. Okay, maybe I have to. Yeah, so it's well, I have to cast it into a string, I think. Line. Oh, sorry. Print line. What am I talking about? Okay. Ah. Oh, it's super weird now. Okay. Right. Let me close it again, and let me run this again. Okay. Oh my God, what happened? Yeah, I think okay, it's still fine here. Okay, now it's reading it character by character. That's funny because it's supposed to be a line. Huh. Alright, maybe I should read the official documentation of this. This is just crazy. So, um, yeah, I should really double check because, um, yeah, documentation. because as far as I know, I could loop through the yeah, it should read the single line, and I should be able to loop through it like this, right? I don't know why it gives me something very weird. Like, yeah, this is okay. So yeah, okay, so this is different, right? So maybe okay, I know what's going on. So um, let's have a look at. So let's open it again, create this object, and then I'll look at the IRF. Oops. Right. Okay, it's the same. Um. So yeah, like remember that we have the iterator here, right? So what happened is that I think I messed up the syntax. So f iter actually is the one that that I think is actually the same as the read line. So read line is the iterator that you get from f. So if you like do this, so basically you're calling the so like let's do an experiment, okay? So let's open it, and then what I'm going to do is that read line, my read line, okay, equals to f dot iter. Yeah, this is what you can do when you know more about Python and you try to like hack into it. So okay, now I have a my read line function, and what I'm going to do is that I could um, yeah, I could call next. It should be the same as f.readline, right? So, or actually I can see what this is. Okay, so yeah, so it's a text IO thing, and then it's it just tell me that this is the file that we are reading it. Okay, not much going on, but if I call next on it, it should give me a line. Yeah, this one give me a line. So it is basically working the same as f.readline. But I don't think they're the same. Like, oh, they may be actually this. Oh yeah, yeah, they're giving like this line by line, but they're sharing the same pointer. So because this is giving this second line, this is super weird. That like, uh, can I check if these two are the same? Um, so I have this object f.readline, and then I can check the ID of it. Or they're not the same thing, but they're sharing the same pointer to the file. Um, that so calling this is equivalent for calling that, even though they are two different objects. Okay, this is wicked. This is wicked. So yeah, I did some mistake here. So this syntax is wrong because yeah, because the iterator of so because like if we look at this object, I think if we look at this object and the end, um, it would still have the iter, but it's iterating the um the line. Yeah, like because if I call dot read line, okay, so this will become a string. Okay, so it's looping through the string. So I did a mistake there, but like what you should do is that you could do this. And this is remember that f dot iter is the same as read line, right? It would do the same thing. So if you put f into a loop, a for loop, then it would just like read like the read line one by one. Okay, or what you can do is that yeah, because this is an iterator, right? So this should be oh, you can't do things like that. Okay, so yeah, you can't do things like that. Just do things like this. Right. Yeah, yeah, because like readline is an iterator. I don't know why it doesn't. You can't put it in a for loop. Oh no, like this. Sorry, like this is really messy here. I don't know. Like my mouse is a little bit delayed. I don't know what happened. It's super weird. So yeah, f.readline is not an iterator. Yeah, so you can do it like that. So and but f.readline, this one is a string. So yeah, so you can loop through it. So yeah, just do it like this, okay? Right, mystery solved, and it's just me being stupid, but like always. But yeah, this is how you can read line. Oh my god, it just like diverts from the thing so much. Yeah, so this is like basically how you can loop through it line by line. And so yeah, when you finish it, remember to close it. I've already demonstrated before, and I think I've like really messed up the file a lot. And let's close it. So oh my god. Yeah, my mouse is behaving like very weird now, so sorry about this like craziness. Um, right, and I got lots of message from Discord. Yay. Okay. So, right. So, yeah, so this is like how you got this open thing. You get file. Oh, I haven't talked about writing the file, right? So, if you write a file, like I said, if you open it with the W mode, then you would just overwrite the file. If you put A or append to a file, if that file doesn't exist, using W, you just create a file. So, yeah, so you can do these things that you would add some content to it, and then you would. So I just run through it. It's very straightforward. I don't think it needs lots of explanation here. Maybe I would add this writing a file. Yeah, just try to. So I would don't have to do that much editing afterwards, so I can just immediately upload it if I remember. So yeah, so you create another file, and then you read it, and then now you have another file, and now let's check. I should have two files here. I should, yeah, demo file two. So this is what we created, right? Okay, this is very straightforward. You can try it yourself, and or you can actually append to the first file, and oops, right. So now this is like appending to our first file. So, oh, why the good luck thing is gone? This is so weird. Oh yeah, it's here, but the brick line is not there, so you have to manually put down like that there. If you want it to be in another line. So now we have yet another line. Okay, all this craziness. So if, yeah, let's save this, and yeah, let's go back to what we were before. Yeah, okay. I've reset the file. So let's think what we gotta do. And that was append. This is like rewriting the whole file. You can try this yourself as well. I'm not going to do that. Well, actually, I could just copy the code there, and but I'm not going to run it. Or maybe I'll just run it just to show the point. Because if I run it now, then this file, if I refresh it, then it will be just this, okay? So because I've rewrite the whole thing, I used that W mode, and right, and then well, I can create a file, but this one, like, you rarely do that. You create an empty file. Um, yeah, usually you just use W, but the thing about W is that there is a chance that you accidentally overwrite the file, so maybe you want to use append. Yeah, so it's just some options for you, nothing special. You can also delete a file. I won't demonstrate this. This is quite straightforward. You remove the file, you just os.removed. Yeah, that's one thing you could do with os, or you can just remove the whole directory. Yeah, so this is actually going into part 2 already, like that we are talking about os, but let's see what else we say. So yeah, this is basically more or less the same, I think. But you can read and write in binary mode, and using this plus b here. I don't think you need to have a plus, but updating. Yeah, I don't know why they like have r plus b, but yeah, it's just that little thing that they have here. Okay, nothing much here. And so let's talk about OS, okay? So you can see that OS, you can use it to delete a file or remove a directory, but there are more things you could do with it. So this is a standard library module. So what does it mean is that it comes with your Python. So when you install Python, then you already have it. You just have to import it because it's not automatically import like your built-in functions and all this stuff. But you don't have to pip install it because when you install Python, it's included. So it's kind of like those, like imagine if you buy a toy, then the battery is included, but you have to manually put the battery inside your toy. But you don't have to go to the shop to buy the battery because it's included. So kind of like that. Um, right. So OS operations. I found this tutorial is quite nice. It shows a lot of different things you can do with it. So we already showed a little bit that. Oh my god, I need to use cookie. I hate those things. Why do you use cookie? Um, so yeah, so I think in the W3 school it shows that you can remove a file and remove the directory. But here, this one, it shows that you can create a directory. Okay, so mkdir is basically the same as what you would do a um, in a terminal. Okay, so just os.mkdir. I won't show it because it's quite straightforward. I will show this get cwd is that get the working directory here. Um, so it's basically like the pwd that I run in a um, yeah. So this part is os and oops. Yeah. So get oops. I haven't imported. Sorry about that. And yeah, this is just like when I did this, right? Okay, so usually you found something in the your command in your terminal. You will find something in the OS equivalent. So mkdir, you have mkdir, but which is make directory. Um, and pwd is get cwd, because it's current working directory. You can also change directory. So cd, which is in terminal, is change directory. In yeah in OS it will be like chdil. So yeah, it's just named different. So it's just named differently. It's just the same thing. And you can also remove, like show before rmdir, and you can list other directories. So this one I'll show you as well. And yeah, you need a path of that. So what I'm going to show is that if I click on the correct tab, what I'm going to do is that I can just show me all the directory in my current working directory. And you see all this file here. So yeah, because this one gives me this, right? And then this one, and I can be like list all the directory inside this directory. And then I got all this file that is in my current directory. Yeah, so this is this. And what else is in the OS? So these are the common ones. Of course, like there are more that's available. If you check on the link, oh, the link is not here, but I think it's here. Yeah, if you check on the link here, which is the official documentation, it will show you everything. Everything. You can have OS error, OS name, all this stuff that may be useful, but I think most of the time that you're doing are just like those um, very basic, create directory, change directory, or this like basic kind of maneuver across different platform. It's just like what you normally would do in your terminal. I don't use that terminal a lot, so this is basically cover everything that I would do in the terminal. Okay. Um, yeah, so that's quite handy because when you read a file or write a file, you may want to be in the right directory to do it, or you may want to create a file in a directory. So this is handy for you. Um, Another handy thing is that OS also have a submodule that is called os.path, and os.path actually has a lot of it has a lot of method, but I think these four are the most common ones. I don't know why the bracket is gone. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it's become black for some reason. Yeah, I'll fix that. But yeah, so because these are the methods. Um, so you can see that they have a lot. Again, like they have a lot more than what you need, but these common things exist. Well, exist may be helpful. You want to check whether that path exists, but I don't use it that much. Yeah, there's lots of things, size and other stuff. They're really useful. But I could show you. For example, let's go back here. If I want, so I have already import OS, so I can use os.path dot, what was that? Sorry, absolute path. Okay, so um, absolute path. What it does is that if I put in dot slash, maybe a dot slash, then it will give me my current directory. Remember, dot slash is current directory, right? So if dot dot is parent directory, this is my parent directory. Of course, you can go to your grandparent, or you can go to your user directory. Oh, it's not. Okay, so this doesn't work. Yeah, right. But let's go back to current directory, and but there's a similar one that is called real path. So what real path does is that the difference between absolute path and real path is that real path will go to the canonical path, which means that I don't have it in the current working directory, but if I say that I have a shortcut, like it's like in your Windows and stuff, right? You can create a shortcut, and the shortcut is, let's say, sitting on my current directory, but it actually is going to another file. So for example, I have a shortcut that is called shortcut, and then this shortcut actually is pointing to this directory, and then if I use real path shortcut, actually it will give me this directory. So it will just choose, so basically it will show you the real path, like kind of ignoring all this shortcut thing. You will find out what the shortcuts really mean, what is the path behind this shortcut. Okay. So yeah, so if you look at the official documentation, it will say that, yeah, maybe they're explaining it a better way than me. I'm trying to explain it in a kind of more layman term, but it means that it will return a canonical path. So which means that eliminating the links, right? The symbolic link is the shortcut that I mean, like, and then it will show the real path. Yeah, if they're supported, because I think in Unix system it's called symbolic link. Um, so right, so that's that, and then dir name path, which means that if I have a file, so actually I could, okay, I haven't shown you this, and you can, the other thing you could do is that os.path dot absolute path. What, my typing is horrible today. Yeah. So I can put down file, okay? 05 is not defined. I think it's something like that. Nope. Oh, it's in my other example. I don't know why it doesn't work now. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the dir name. Cause yeah, I really want to show you the dir name of path, but doesn't matter. I could just put down, for example, I have that demo text, right? Yeah, it's not giving me anything, but if I put it like this, or yeah, so it would just like show me the directory of the thing, or I could use absolute path of that, right? uh, yeah, sorry, my typing today is like horrible. I don't know what happened to me. Yeah, so what happened is that if I find the absolute path of this thing, then or even without this, right? Yeah, so it will give me the absolute path of this, and then basically dir name is just that it will give the directory part of this, so it's just taking the file name out. It's handy. It's just a small thing. You could do it yourself. You can do it dot split and then like just cutting the last part or something, but this is just handy stuff that you could do. Join is the other way around, that you could join things together. For example, I could join, let's say, what do I want to join? I want to join this thing, right? So this is, uh, or I could, remember I have the working directory thing, right? Get dir, okay? Sorry, get get cwd. So I can get the current directory, and then I join it with demo.txt, and then it should give me the same path like before, like this. Okay. So yeah, it's this one is just like giving me back the current directory, and I just join them together, become this. So yeah, these two are just like a little handy thing that you could do with path. Yeah, like again, like all these stuff is handy when you're doing reading and writing a file, because you want to find your file to be able to read or write. Um, right, so let's go to the last bit of the tutorial today. Um, and yeah, today's tutorial I think is a bit short because all this stuff is, first of all, you won't use it like, um, well, you use it quite often if you're handling some kind of file I/O thing, but I think there isn't like a lot to it. Well, of course, if you look deep inside it, there's a lot that you could see that, or you could do all this crazy stuff with Python, but you rarely do those crazy stuff. And that's why it's a bit short if I just cover the day-to-day stuff that you may came across. So yes, subprocess is another module, just like OS is the standard library. You don't have to pip install it, but you have to import it. So what's in subprocess is actually let you to do something with another process in your computer. So, uh, so what is a process in your computer? It's basically like a job. That's how I know about it. Well, I don't have this I don't have the computer science degree, so but in my layman term of understanding, a process is a program that is running, it's a job that's running in your computer. So sometimes when you look at, for example, if your computer is really slow, what you do is that you look at the activity of your computer, then basically you're looking at all the process that's running on your computer. Okay, so all of these processes, each of them are the job. So if you have a program that is open, for example, your browser, then one of the process will be your browser. Okay, if you're running a Python code, then um, that's a other like process that's running. The Python is running and it's running specifically for this code, so it's one process. If you have two code that's running together, I don't know how, but like if you have two Python code that is running at the same time, then you have two Python process. Okay, so there are different jobs that is in your computer that's running. So what this does is that when you run the code, then Python can actually tell your computer, hey, now, for example, I need you to open a browser window. Then you could actually somehow tell your computer to open a browser window. So it's basically like running a command in your command line, because running a command in your command line is another process. Okay, so you can use a process to run a command. Um, for example, for example, like I run this, or actually I can run this. Okay, so show me all the file that I have. Okay, so this is, remember, Jupyter Notebook is just give us this shortcut of, so this equivalent of running something in the terminal, but you could do it in Python as well. So what you could do is that import subprocess, and then what you do is like subprocess dot run. I just say like pwd. So, oh wait a second, I didn't get all these things that got printed out. Oh, because you need to set a parameter, which I forgot what it is. So let me double check. I think it's called yeah, something equals to true well, uh, standard in, standard out, capture output. Yeah, so I want to see the output of it. I think. Let me, yeah, shall the text. Yeah, let's try this. Oh, it's captured in the standard out, so I can now print out the standard out. Is it? But standard out is equals to this, so this is just, oh yeah, this is giving me, yeah, of course I'm running different things, so this is giving me the path, so this is the output here. So if I do rs, and yeah, this time the standard out is a bunch of things, so if, let's see if I can print that out. So if I go that my process, and then I could call my process dot standard out. That would get back all this stuff. It's not pretty because this is how Python handle it. It's a binary string. Um, but that's why you got this like /n, all this crazy stuff. But can I just print it? Maybe like that's better. Nope. Maybe I can change it into a string. Maybe that's better. Sorry, my mouse is going crazy again. Nope. Yeah. I don't know. You have to do something to change it, but cause like yeah, this is so pretty, and this is like Python is just giving you a string. You can do whatever you like with it. Okay, fine. Um, yeah, I'm just making it simple here for now. All right. So yeah, you can write some code to really like process this stuff if you like. Uh, but yeah, this is how it works. And then what else is going on as a process? And oh yeah, like the last thing I want to show is that this is something that my friend Boyan written for us for the integration test in our Terminus DB client. What it does is that, well, because we have the backend and we have put that in a, of course, you need the backend for the database. I will put it in a Docker image, and then so when we run the test, when we want to spin up a backend so we can test the connection with the backend and all this stuff, then we need to use Docker, right? We need to tell Docker to do something for us. So Boyan write this script, and basically it's using all these things that we've learned. We use the process, okay, and then we run. Uh, so why there's different things? So this is just basically meaning that I have, this will be the options. For example, I forgot to show it to you, but for example, if I run ls dash a, so this is dash a is just an option showing that like all this hidden file which start with a dot could also be shown. So if I want to run this instead of just ls, what I can do is that um, I could put I could put this in a list, all right, and I would just put my options like as a second element in the list, and it should work the same. But this time we have all these hidden file as well. So let's print this out to see. Yeah, we do have the hidden file now. So it's just that like in your command that you have all the space that you put that in the list and break it into different things. I don't know why it's like this, but this is how it works. Um, so yeah, this is basically equivalent to the command that is running docker compose space dash dash file and then space, and then this is the file name. You can see that here the path is used. So yeah, this file I think is from the import somewhere that I forgot where it is. I have to really look it up. And I found the real path of it, and then I just like find the directory name, and then I put well, you can use os.join, but you plus also work. And then just all these other options. Docker compose up. So this is an option. This is another option. And then you can store all these all these standard errors. This is the error output that is stored in the pipeline, and then later you can actually and grab all of them, okay, and then you could uh, print it out. So if you got an error from your Docker Compose up, then you could you know so if you don't capture this error, then it would just say that the return code will be not zero, will be something like 127 or something, which means that you got some error and the error code is 127, but it doesn't tell you anything. It just means that your code doesn't run. You made a mistake, but you don't know what the mistake is. So that's why you want to store this error output and then print it out afterwards. Um, so yeah, this is just an example of how the process could be used. This is a real example that we're using it actually. So yeah, this is very very real. So yeah, I think that's it for everything that I want to talk about today. Sorry that like it's a bit of a mess today, and also there are deliveries and all this stuff is a bit crazy. But we have to go through it, and I hope that is, you found it helpful that when you want to, for example, if you want to read and write a file, if you want to run another process, like let's say you want to run a command in your command line, but you want the code, your Python code to do it for you instead, then you could do this. Um, so basically, it's like you could. So okay, so now I have a thought. So you could create a command line tool with a Python script. And there is actually a library doing that, and it's called Click. So maybe next time I should talk about Click. Okay, so it's just, yeah, I just like have this idea. So Click is a Python library that lets you create a command line tool with Python. So yeah, I think that's quite cool. Maybe I could cover that. So I think I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their source code yet, but I think what they do is kind of like this, right? Using subprocess, and then basically everything that you do, is when you uh, type the command in your command line, and then kind of using subprocess, you can like kind of let Python talking with the command line. Actually, it's the other way around. Like when you want to execute a command line code, then you use Python subprocess to do that. That's quite cool. Um, so yeah, so maybe I should talk about Click because that's very interesting. Because that's something that we actually want to do in the future. Is that we want to make a command line tool for the Terminus DB, but now because we have a Python client, well, we also have a JavaScript client, but I don't know that much about JavaScript. But since we have a Python client, all these operations you can do it with the Python clients. Then I could use this Python, use Python and the Python clients to create a command line tool with Click, and then, it will become a command line tool, okay? Which is very neat, in my opinion. So maybe next time I could talk about that. So I can revisit Click. I've used it before, but I haven't used it for a while, so maybe I can revisit it, and, then I could put up a tutorial about it for next week. Yeah. So like yes, Sundays is. Oh, I've made a mistake here. This is not 1 p.m. Sorry, this should be 6 p.m. now. We have changed the time for Meet and Reply. It's changed to the evening, so it's not 1 p.m. anymore. I have to change that. I keep forgetting. Let me just do it quickly here. Um, yeah. So 6 p.m. Right, so this is the right one. Um, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I would love to get your comment, your opinion about like what you want to learn about or anything you like or don't like. Let me know. You can DM me or like leave me a comment. You can, if you're watching it on DevTool, you can totally like leave me a comment in DevTool. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can also, write a comment. I don't know like where you're watching this from, but let me know. Um, so I think that's it from me this week. And tomorrow, I'm still struggling to think of a topic. If you have anything about data science in Python that you want to know about, like, you know, um, message me. I haven't started about all these like crazy, neural network and things like that. Maybe I could start on neural network. I just don't know what to talk about, and I don't know what to target, like what level I should target on. So, yeah, I guess I would just talk about things that I found is interesting for tomorrow. So, but I will let you know on Twitter what's going on tomorrow. And I think that's it from me. And really take care and enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Meet me pie. Okay, bye.